He's a dying breed of savage in the UFC, but I don't think he wins here. He was a collegiate wrestler, but he doesn't wrestle. And while I wouldn't want him wrestling in this matchup, I think the problem is he's going to need to defend some takedowns, and those aren't great either. He just got taken down by Rafael Fiziev. Paddy is absolutely tremendous. His takedowns aren't great, but his size, the Scouser chin, and the forward pressure might be enough to actually win a title. I am going to pick Paddy here. I hate how high his chin is in fights. When you're in boxing class, they teach you, a lot of them will put a tennis ball under your chin. You keep the tennis ball there, right? You bounce on your toes. They slide paper under your heels. Make sure you're on your toes. You could put a volleyball under Paddy Pimblett's chin. Fuck a tennis ball. You could put a volleyball. His head is straight up in the air. And somebody like Justin, who has no problem walking through fire and bombing away, that could be a problem. But Paddy has been very vocal. I am not dumb enough to get knocked out by Justin Gaethje. So,
hey, I got to ask, with the striking, how do you rate his striking? Because Paddy's going to be, he's known for sort of pushing the action, which makes this a really exciting fight. Do you believe against yourself he'll still be as aggressive, or do you think he's going to be trying to look to get this to the ground as quickly as possible?
Well, no, I mean, I think he's going to have to. I mean, obviously, I think he's going to fight smart. I think he's going to fight a smart fight. I think he fought a smart fight versus Chandler. I think in the first round, he was very calculated. He wasn't necessarily over aggressive, and I expect him to fight like that against me. And yeah, I really got to control his feet. You know, when it comes to technique, he might not be there, but when it comes to like aggression and you know, tenacity, I mean, those are big variables when it comes to striking, and those are things that, you know, he does not lack in. And so I'm going to need to still his momentum and still the confidence, because that's why he is so effective right now.
Okay.
Paddy kind of got ahead of, he did a little video where he was saying, you know, if I beat Justin, I know what you're all going to say. He's the man's 37 and he's past his prime. Just like they said when I beat Bobby King Green, that he was old and he couldn't grapple or whatever he said. And he went through every fight. He said, they're always going to say that, you know. And they did say that, and they do say that, and they kind of might well say that if he beats Justin Gaethje. The reality is, though, Justin looked phenomenal against Rafael Fiziev. You know, and yeah, all right, he got knocked out against Max Holloway.
From bold knockouts to slick submissions, the opinions are split heading into Paddy Pimblett versus Justin Gaethje. Fighters, coaches, and analysts have all weighed in, and their predictions couldn't be more different. Some see chaos, others see control. Before the cage door shuts, let's break down what the pros really expected from this matchup.
Поединок Гейджи Пимблета, расскажи, кто для тебя был бы предпочтительным соперником?
Предпочтительнее, да, они оба мешки, честно. Мешки, которым нужно так же готовиться, как и на титульный бой, потому что в бою может быть все, но я вижу, что они не моего уровня. Из-за этого я и не дерусь там. Был бы я слабее, однозначно, я бы был бы там.
Изъявил желание выйти на замену, ну, в крайнем случае. Скажи, насколько это реально?
Ну, если кто-то из них травмируется, я выйду на бой. Буду держать себя в форме. UFC не делает бэкап на этот бой, но все возможно. Я просто буду тренироваться и держать себя в форме. Если они мне позвонят за неделю, за 2 недели, за 3 недели, я буду готов.
Jorge Masvidal leaned heavily toward Justin when talking about this matchup. The way he broke it down, it came from respect for real experience and hard fights at the top. He seemed to see Justin as someone who has already been through chaos, pressure, and elite opponents, while Paddy is still learning what those moments feel like. To Jorge, that gap matters because when things get rough, Justin has already lived there and knows how to stay calm and dangerous.
First time that I'm saying, how could you just?
So you agree with me?
Justin Gaethje and who's the other dude?
Paddy Pimblett.
What the fuck? We got Michael Jordan versus Kobe Bryant in the women's shit.
I better be Michael in this scenario.
You're gonna decide on January 24th who you are.
Undisputed title fight. Not only that, she's coming out of retirement.
The two greatest.
That, the history, the story, like there's an actual story here. I thought it was a no-brainer. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was a mistake when someone told me before.
No-brainer.
Legit.
Easy no-brainer.
Now, can I ask? So it's great that he's here because I'm asking about a man, but he was there for all of this.
Yeah.
So
I was part of her recruiting trip. That's what she's talking
yes. But were you there the day they sparred? Were you there the day they sparred?
I was, but I didn't get to see it though. But I was there because at the time.
Masvidal also made it clear that this was not about hype or personality. He focused more on how Justin fights when things are not going his way. From his point of view, Justin does not panic, even when he gets hit or dragged into ugly exchanges. That mindset stood out to him more than anything Paddy brings. Jorge seemed to feel that unless Paddy could control the fight early, the pressure and pace from Justin would slowly take over.
I used to be there every day. I was definitely there, and I done heard all the rumors, but like everybody knows, I ain't gonna say shit.
Okay,
I know everything that happened.
But what was the vibe?
I got on the Brazilians. I speak, enough Portuguese that I know exactly what happened from all the coaches there, and I know all the American coaches, so I knew everything.
Could you tell though that there was something there? Yeah. Could you tell there was something there though? Could you tell that this was inevitable?
Oh, of course, yeah. Especially with chicks in the gym, and she'll tell you they're very territorial, maybe more than dudes. They're very catty too. They don't like certain cliques, so they're like, it's war every time. The few times the guys will stop and watch sparring is when it's like two girls that got it out for each other because they're going like it's a fight.
Yeah.
And it's like
When Angelo talked about Justin, he did not ignore the brutal knockout loss that everyone remembers. He acknowledged it, but he treated it like part of the deal with Justin's style. To him, Justin is still valuable because he always shows up and fights hard, no matter the risk. That willingness to walk forward and trade is something the UFC trusts when they need a guaranteed action fight. Angelo made it clear that Justin being exciting and reliable played a big role in why he was chosen here.
I also get how Justin Gaethje got here. Yeah, he was just 2 fights ago face down on the canvas at UFC 300 in what will live forever as one of the greatest knockouts of all time. I get it. I saw it. My live reaction to that was like, oh my God. But you know what you get with Justin Gaethje? You get a kid who shows up, throws down. He's an exciting guy. He will get in your face. He will punch. He's not going to play some boring bullshit. He will fight. So the UFC was met with a challenge. Their champion's getting a divorce, so he stepped away. And now they need to either hold up the entire division or put together a freaking fight for the boys. So they put together a fight for the boys, and this is what they came up with, and I don't hate it.
The actual fight breakdown leaned heavily on styles. Angelo saw Justin as dangerous on the feet, but limited once the fight gets messy in grappling. He pointed out that Justin has the background to wrestle, but does not really use it, and that could become a problem fast. Paddy's size stood out to him, especially for this weight class. He emphasized that Paddy looks bigger in the cage, pushes forward, and does his best work once the fight hits the ground, where he can slow things down and control position.
He has no problem moving forward, swinging wild. Paddy Pimblett, a big, strong grappler. Paddy's listed as a smaller person here. He will look bigger in the cage, and I think he is bigger. He's 5'10", Justin Gaethje's 5'11". I don't believe those numbers. Paddy Pimblett is big as shit for this weight class. And when he uses that size and he comes forward and he drags it to the ground, he has a lot of success. On the ground, he's a very slick grappler with incredible...
Even though Angelo respects Justin's toughness and power, he ultimately leaned toward Paddy because of how the matchup lines up. He believed Justin's defense on takedowns could fail under pressure, especially against someone as physical as Paddy. While he did point out flaws in Paddy's striking and head position, he felt Paddy was smart enough to avoid a pure brawl. In his view, the most likely path was Paddy surviving the danger early, dragging the fight down, and using control to win.
He's a dying breed of savage in the UFC, but I don't think he wins here. He was a collegiate wrestler, but he doesn't wrestle. And while I wouldn't want him wrestling in this matchup, I think the problem is he's going to need to defend some takedowns, and those aren't great either. He just got taken down by Rafael Fiziev. Paddy is absolutely tremendous. His takedowns aren't great, but his size, the scouser chin, and the forward pressure might be enough to actually win a title. I am going to pick Paddy here. I hate how high his chin is in fights. When you're in boxing class, they teach you, a lot of them will put a tennis ball under your chin. You keep the tennis ball there, right? You bounce on your toes. They slide paper under your heels. Make sure you're on your toes. You could put a volleyball under Paddy Pimblett's chin. Fuck a tennis ball. You could put a volleyball. His head is straight up in the air. And somebody like Justin, who has no problem walking through fire and bombing away, that could be a problem. But Paddy has been very vocal. I am not dumb enough to get knocked out by Justin Gaethje. So
when it came to Justin himself, he clearly expected Paddy to fight smart, especially early. From the way he explained it, he saw Paddy as someone who picks moments instead of rushing in, at least at the start. Justin seemed prepared for a patient opening where Paddy tries to build confidence before taking risks. That told you Justin was not expecting an easy or reckless fight.
Hey, I got to ask, with the striking, how do you rate his striking? Because Paddy's going to be, he's known for sort of pushing the action, which makes this a really exciting fight. Do you believe against yourself he'll still be as aggressive, or do you think he's going to be trying to look to get this to the ground as quickly as possible?
Well, no, I mean, I think he's going to have to. I mean, obviously, I think he's going to fight smart. I think he's going to fight a smart fight. I think he fought a smart fight versus Chandler. I think in the first round he was very calculated. He wasn't necessarily over aggressive, and I expect him to fight like that against me.
When Justin talked about Paddy's striking, he did not brush it off. He made it clear that even if Paddy's technique is not clean, his aggression and toughness make him dangerous. Justin focused a lot on momentum and confidence. He clearly believes that Paddy feeds off those things. That is why Justin put so much importance on slowing him down early. In his mind, stopping Paddy's rhythm matters just as much as landing big shots.
And yeah, I really got to control his feet. When it comes to technique, he might not be there, but when it comes to like aggression and tenacity, I mean, those are big variables when it comes to striking, and those are things that he does not lack in. And so I'm gonna need to still his momentum and still the confidence, because that's why he is so effective right now.
Justin also showed that he understands how Paddy uses pressure to set up grappling. He broke it down as a chain reaction. Paddy moves forward, throws hard, forces exchanges, and that chaos opens the door for clinches and takedowns. Justin's answer to that was foot control and angles.
He's kind of like a bit of a momentum guy, right? He pushes forward, and some of the technique maybe isn't as flashy, but he's aggressive. And I guess he's got that kind of Dricus du Plessis thing about him and the RDR thing about him, where when he's in the octagon with people, maybe people underestimate his striking. But like, how would you rate what he does on the feet?
When I rate his striking, probably like a 7 or an 8. I mean, he really throws a lot of power into his shots, and if you do get hit with those shots, like there's no doubt it's a problem. And he's constantly moving forward, and that's a big part of this sport, and it really gets him into these clinch positions and into these takedown positions off of his strikes. And so I really got to create angles and run him into shots. I've always said I create car crashes. I want to be the object that we're the same mass. I want to be the object that gets there first and has the most force, and that's by controlling his feet and running him into dangerous positions.
While talking about Justin, Paddy mixed respect with real belief in himself. He spoke about Justin as one of the big names in the division, a fighter who has delivered memorable wars for a long time. But Paddy also made it clear he feels Justin is coming toward the end of his career. He tied that feeling to things Justin has said before about walking away if results start going against him. To Paddy, a win here would not just be a big name on his record, it would be the moment that shuts the door on Justin's title hopes for good.
Talking about Justin Gaethje, obviously we've seen his career for so many years. The man is a legend. I think 14 fights in the UFC. He did work before that as well. All his fights in the UFC, he's either taken a bonus or he's been fighting for a title. The guy, he's a special fighter, right?
Yeah, he's unbelievable, absolute legend of the sport, legend of the lightweight division. And it's an honour to get in the cage with him and fight him. But I feel bad saying it because I've said it already. I think I'm going to retire him.
Is that where you think he is in his career? You think he's...
Yeah, I think he could be on the verge, on the precipice of retiring. He said himself he was going to retire if he didn't get a title shot. So when I beat him, he's not going to get another title shot, is he? So
Paddy also explained why Justin's style does not scare him the way it scares others. He acknowledged the danger, especially the power and the chaos Justin brings, but he did not see that as a reason to change who he is. Instead of planning to wrestle right away, Paddy showed confidence in his striking and his ability to handle exchanges. He sees himself as a complete MMA striker and feels that standing with Justin is where he can prove a lot of people wrong.
What do you think it is that makes him special? What does he do that's different from others? What does he do that's elite?
He's got an elite right hand. You know what I mean? The way he plants that on people's chin. But he's just an absolute banger lad. He comes out and wants to have an entertaining fight every single time. shy away from a firefight, and he loves a war. And I've never had a war in all my years of fighting, so I'm looking forward to one.
Is that what you want?
Yeah, of course. Always want one.
So you never had a war, you want to start it by doing it with Justin Gaethje?
Well, yeah.
Where's your head at, man?
It's firmly screwed on my shoulders, lad, but, you know, people are laughing at me when I'm saying I'm going to stand with him, but I am. People think that I'm just going to shoot in the first 10 seconds. I'm not. I'm going to stand with him, and I'm going to put it on him. And people are going to be like, wow, we weren't lying. Like, he's more of a boxer with leg kicks, and I'm an MMA striker. I don't do just boxing or Thai boxing or kickboxing or taekwondo or karate. I'm an MMA striker, and you'll see that when I fight him.
Michael Bisping suggested that if Paddy wins, a lot of people will try to take credit away from it right away. He feels fans will lean on the idea that Justin is getting older or is no longer the same fighter. Bisping pushed back on that thinking. He made it clear that Justin has still looked dangerous in recent fights, and that one knockout does not suddenly mean a fighter is finished or washed up. Bisping also explained why this matchup makes sense for Paddy right now. He pointed out that Justin has been dropped and stopped before, and that history matters in a sport this brutal. Without disrespecting Justin, Bisping stressed that years of hard fights add up, especially late in a career. At the same time, he was careful to give Justin his due, reminding people that all of his losses came against elite competition, which says more about the level he has fought at than any decline. Some experts believe Justin's power, experience, and non-stop pressure could be too much for Paddy to handle. Justin has been training intensely, drilling his striking angles and counters to make sure he can control the fight and stop Paddy from building any momentum. His experience in high-level fights gives him the tools to stay calm under pressure and make precise decisions when it matters most. With both fighters bringing different strengths and strategies, this fight is shaping up to be fast, intense, and possibly end before the final bell. Fans can expect high-level striking, movement, and moments of pure action. Let us know in the comments who you're backing. Are you going with Justin's raw power and experience, or Paddy's sharp skills and clever fight plan?